5 minutes after the hour, I got my coffee, I got my water, and I got y'all. Thank you for being so patient with me as we're on the way back, and I think this is the time we're going to settle on. But we're going to keep adjusting until we get things right. In other words, let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This Brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised that the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! Back and better than ever. Good morning. Woo! Welcome to the Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Glad to have y'all with us. 8 minutes after the hour. We are stacked and packed with some great sports talk as we take you on a 180-minute journey with the best sports talk show in the region, across the nation, and around the world. We all welcome those of you watching on YouTube, on both the Snowman Multimedia YouTube channels and the Shady Sports Network YouTube channel. And we also welcome those of you listening on WIRUDB in Chicago, as well as forgot the call letters, but it's a new station in Chicago, and I'm so happy to be headlining it. Got a lot more deals coming on the way. WQEE in Atlanta, KSOS in Salem, Oregon, and WLEO in Baltimore, Maryland. We welcome those of you also watching on Zebo TV as well as the BS3 network. And welcome to those of you listening on our flagship station, Snowman Multimedia Sports Radio. We got a lot to do and a short time to get there, and had a whip around planned. I still plan on it, but let me say a few things, and let me say thank you to a few people. First off, I want to say thank you to you guys for sticking with me and sticking with the show. And I'm about to cry because y'all mean the world to me. All right? I mean that. Everybody who comes on, everybody who appears, everybody involved. And let me shout out my wonderful awesome executive producer, Mr. Cole Johnson. Cole, I know we haven't been on the air together lately, and I know I've been so inconsistent with this since my health problems rearose. But man, you mean the world to me. That's about the only way I can put it. You mean the world to me, brother. And I would not and could not be able to do this without you. And I mean every single word of that. I can't do this without you. I just can't. And let me shout out both my guests that I'm going to have today, or all of them, to VIKALAAH. Thank you for the gift of your friendship for the last 24 years. I had a talk with him this morning, and he said most men don't get along or be friends for a couple of years, let alone 24 of them. I can't thank you enough for hanging with me and sticking with me through all the tough times, through everything. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Let me thank some people in the chat. Rye, the Aces and Hawkeyes guy. Brother, we have a Big Ten tournament to cover. And though I just met you, I can't tell you how much you mean to me with everything that you're doing, and all kinds of support that you have given me. To the fellows, my beer bros at the Strikeout Beer Podcast, Alan and Rapid Dave, thank you to you for the appearances that you've allowed me on your program, and just being there to listen. Just being there to listen. To my buddies Tank Spencer and Jeremy Green from Asheville, North Carolina, and ESPN Asheville, thank you to you for sticking with me. I plan to have Jeremy on hopefully later this week. The Angry Black Man's in the house. Thank you to you for checking out today's program. You and the rest of the chat and everybody tuning in, very much appreciated. To a fellow I'm going to have on later this week, Michael Lyle. Man alive. Michael came to me and said, let me know. He said, what do I do when I'm presented an opportunity? I said, he's a big time Giants fan. I said, strap on the headset and be like Otis Anderson. Just be like Otis Anderson and plow over the goal line. And I also gave him a Price is Right reference when I said, when you see that opportunity and you get it, you call me and say, welcome to the Price is Right. Well, about a month after that, he called me and said that very thing. And my gosh, I'm shaking. My gosh. It's just a few of the people that have been there with me and for me. And like I said, I had a whip around plan, but I just thought this morning I need to thank a lot of people. Sig Diggy, my buddy from Norway, he tells me all the time, whenever you need a break, you call me and I'll fill in. You know what, Sig? On the days where I am not here, you and the big dog Shane Lake, as well as Victor Locke, I'll have to take y'all up on that offer, especially this year when my wife and I get to do something for a second straight year that I didn't do in my first marriage. Take a vacation. Last year, of course, y'all know we went to Branson, Missouri. I still haven't produced that video yet, but I will. Rye says, sometimes it's hard to get out the darkness. I know because I'm there very often. And though I get encouragement to push on, nonetheless, depression still exists heavy. It's a fight out here, bro. Yeah, you got that right. Because after I had my right big toe amputated and my doctor, let me shout out my doctor, Rebecca Payton, my family doctor. She said it straight. She said it straight and said the word amputation, and it knocked me for a loop. I thought me beating pancreatic cancer was the hardest fight. Oh, no. This one, when she used that word, amputation, I never thought I'd have to go through that. So when she said it straight like that, I got to be honest, y'all, it mentally knocked me sideways. Physically, I'm getting better. Let me shout out I can't recall his name, but my podiatrist, he has been Dr. Warnock. Dr. Warnock, thank you, brother. Thank you for giving it to me straight, giving all the news to me straight of what I need to do and how I need to handle it. And all the fights that I've been through physically, all the fights that I've been through mentally, is going to be worth it. My counselor, thank you for not only getting in my head, but staying in my head and giving me the encouragement to push on. A la my Northwestern Wildcats, push on and push through. To my daughter, Cheyenne, who texted me one night and said, I'm coming over and there's nothing you can do about it. And of course, I got 100 shades of excited. Thank you, baby girl. When I had my cancer surgery and I woke up the next day and I see this fiery redhead come flying through the door with the rest of the doctors while I was in ICU, I said, okay, I'm in good hands because Cheyenne is an ICU nurse. Oh my gosh. Getting all this out is so y'all got to understand. And Rye, I know you, and I know everybody in the chat understands. Getting all this out is being very therapeutic. And Cheyenne pointed this out to me. She says, you have a way of getting all your feelings out. And she pointed to this microphone. Cheyenne, baby, I'm going to use it. I promise. To Sonia, man, let me tell y'all, when I met Sonia, I didn't know how to handle it. And then the next person one of the next people I'm going to thank pulled me aside and said, look, she's an adult. My son's an adult. You got to handle it that way. Which brings me to my son, Dakota. This goofy kid who people tell me I should identify him as my stepson. Screw that. That's my son. That's every bit of my baby boy. I still call him my baby boy, even though he's 25. I don't care. First day I met him, and he let his dog Ferguson loose, and I hadn't been around dogs. I stood up. I got to share this story. I stood up, I put my hands up, and Fergie stood on his hind legs and wrapped his front legs around me in a hug. Because that's what Dakota taught him. Thank you, Dakota, for all the times that you've picked on me. Sonia, for all the times you've picked on me. And I was delightfully told that whenever, if they start picking on you, they accept you. And they have. To my baby girl, Carmen, who when I saw her and the grandkids on Thanksgiving weekend, who I'm going to produce a podcast with her and Cheyenne. So get ready for that. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, baby girl. I know you've been through a lot. I know some of the things that you've been through. Do I know them all? No. Am I going to know them all? Eventually. Man, Carmen, I have to say to Carmen, to Cheyenne, Sonia, and Dakota, my 4 children, I am proud of all of you guys for everything that y'all have put together, for everything that y'all have done. And thank you for accepting me as your father. And to say that I appreciate you guys would be a horrible understatement. Which lastly brings me to the woman who has saved my life on 3 separate occasions. My wife, Jody. And of course, y'all know her as Dr. K. Oh, man. Dr. K, where do I begin? I begin in July of 2018. And I was sitting in a Starbucks. And I didn't know what life was going to bring me. So I said, F it. And I was going to throw in the towel. I mean it. To use the description of my buddy Raphael, I was right on the edge of that cliff when I got a message from Jody. And she yanked me back from that cliff just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. And man, when she yanked me back from that cliff, it's like her message to me basically said to me, I don't know you, but I need you. And the first time I called her, I was doing a football game, Michigan City and Chesterton. A lot of you know this part of the story. I put the phone in my ear. I was doing a play-by-play sequence. And when I heard her giggle, I was a goner. I was a goner. I have often said, and people have asked me, what's the best sound you've ever heard? In 3 words, my wife laughing. Hell, 3 more, my wife's voice. Jody, baby, you mean everything to me. You saved my life when I was going to end it by coming into my life. You did it again when you made a hard decision and we moved from North Carolina back here to Indiana to get some help when I was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And a side shout out to Dr. Roganoff, my oncologist, who made a phone call to Dr. Attila Nakib. He and his team performed the surgery to get the cancer out of my system and save my life. And that all started with Jody making a hard decision to move us back here to Indiana. And lastly, when my big toe was gone. We had a hard conversation about Lucy, and y'all know Lucy, my sweet little dog. And then we said, no, Lucy can't go. Lucy's my spirit animal. My family is my spirit. So Jody, baby, I will never, ever be able to say thank you enough for lifting me up and allowing me to lift you up and allowing me to be there for you as you have been there for me. I can't say thank you enough. To everybody I just named and to the people I didn't name, I apologize, but there are so many of you. Cool McCain, Coach Dante, Jay Spivey, who will be here in about an hour and a half. Actually, in about 120 minutes from now. Man, oh man. I can't say thank you enough to everyone. I mean it. I can't say thank you enough to everyone who has been there for me and with me, and those who continue to be there for me and with me. I can't say thank you enough. And I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you guys. And I want to thank you guys for allowing me to get this out and allowing me to be me, allowing me to give you the sports talk that y'all desire, which is truthful, which is from the heart and from the soul. And from the heart and from the soul, I love you guys. I truly do. Do me a favor, support the stream via Cash App. The tag you need is $tallman Dr. K50, and I'm going to borrow from my good buddy Dr. Thunder. If you can make a donation to this for the lunch gang, he uses hashtag sandwich gang, but I'm saying hashtag lunch gang because by the time I sign off, it'll be lunchtime. But if anybody can help make a contribution for this, not just for me, but for my family, because I have decided this is the way I'm going to help my family. I have decided this is the way until I start getting like real big time sponsors, which a friend of mine is going to help me with. This is what I do, period. I have made the decision, and I made it this morning while I was setting up, and I damn near canceled the show. And then I said, no, I'm committed to this. And I'm going to stay committed to this and to you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that I've named and those who I didn't name. I can't thank y'all enough for allowing me not only these moments, but allowing me into your homes for the past 10 years. Whether it was an hour, whether it was 4 hours, or whether we're settled, whether it was 2 hours, or where we're settled right now, which is 3. Thank you guys very, very, very much. And I love y'all. Back in a flash.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Base YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Ryan McCarthy in 180 seconds, and we have a bit of breaking news. Here's the news. Mike Evans agrees to a contract extension with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a 2-year, $52 million contract, which includes $35 million guaranteed per his agent, Derek Gilmore. Evans, who was to enter free agency next week, now has a real chance to start and finish his career as a Buck for life in Tampa. This portion of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by BetUS.com. The NBA, NHL, and March Madness and college hoops are upon us. And if you want the best action, BetUS.com is the way to go. The sportsbook is celebrating their 30th year with the best action at the best time. Log on to BetUS.com and use the code Snowman for a 125% deposit match. The link will be in the YouTube descriptions below. BetUS.com, where the game begins. I'm going to be busy starting Wednesday as we will present live coverage of the Women's Big Ten basketball tournament to originate from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. All right, 34 after the hour, and I have someone to welcome. Here we go. The Irish coffee man himself, Mr. Ryan McCarthy, is in with us this morning. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I didn't get a chance to thank this guy, Ryan McCarthy, for being a part of the program. And I had someone ask me recently, how did McCarthy happen? I slipped. I had a party. And you were there in the chat when I did it. I was working on about an hour's worth of sleep. I had been up all night the night before. Jody came in and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine." And I was rolling too. I had 4 different projects to do, got done with 3 of them. I finally came to bed at about, I'd say 6:30. Just when she was getting up. She went off to work. I slept for an hour. I came back. You had made a comment, and I hadn't. This answer your question, folks? I haven't had any of this yet. And instead of saying McCarthy, I said McCarthy. It slipped and it duck.
I think Wise was there too at that time.
Yeah,
I think
Wise was there. And Wise, thank you.
Ryan McCarthy.
Ryan McCarthy. And Wise, thank you as well, brother, for being there on this journey with us, as well as the Hawk TV and everybody I named in the chat. All right. To Ryan McCarthy. And there's someone, let me get the right element up here. I asked you last night what is on the docket, and the name you gave me was
Mecole Hardman. Have a seat.
and go.
Oh my gosh, where do we begin? Let's start last week when Mecole Hardman appeared on the Pivot podcast with my fellow namesake Ryan Clark on that four-letter network. On that four-letter network.
This is gonna be good already. I know it.
Oh my! And he basically, I would say, loosely admitted to tampering when 2 weeks before the trade deadline he said, I mean, I can't quote because we don't have to. I'm just paraphrasing here. He basically said to Patrick Mahomes and to Brett Veach, the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, "Come get me." 2 weeks later, he was traded to Kansas City for a 6th-round pick. But then there's more. There's more to this.
Oh, there's more.
And there's more. And there was some leaking coming out of Jets camp from a few players, Sauce Gardner being one of them.
Oh no.
That Mecole Hardman had allegedly leaked game plans to his former team before week 4 and to the Philadelphia Eagles before week 7. Now, the ironic part is, and this is, I'll give credit to Connor Hughes from SNY. He's the one who put out the tweet. He said, ironically, Zach Wilson had one of his best game of the season, possibly of his career, against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night. And then the Jets defense. Yeah, right. Go figure. The game plans get leaked, and yet Zach Wilson balls out with the exception of that one fumble towards the end.
Which cost the game, as we talked about.
It's unfortunately cost them the game because the Chiefs bled the clock and they get the benefit of a non-holding call on third and 20 something. Yeah, and they got the benefit of a holding call on an interception that could have changed the game. So that's neither here nor there. Right. And then the Jets defense have arguably their best game of the season against the Eagles. And they forced 5 turnovers in that game. They forced Jalen Hurts to throw 3 interceptions, including which led to the game-winning touchdown.
Yep.
And he allegedly leaked those plans. So Sauce Gardner's coming out. Kenny Oboa's coming out. There's another player who came out and said, yeah, he leaked game plans. And what's interesting is that here's the interesting part. Now, when Aaron Rodgers, I think it was on Pat McAfee or did a press conference, he said, yeah, we got rid of the leaks and now we got to move forward. Which has me stroking my beard and wondering, I wonder if Mecole Hardman was the leaker.
Mm-hmm.
So then on Friday, before our Saturday brunch show, which don't watch it, go back and watch it after the show.
Yes.
After the show.
Yes.
We talked about it some more. And on Friday, he came out and said, "No, that I didn't leak game plans. That's outside my character. It's I would never do that. Blah blah blah." He posts that on Twitter. But then I asked my coworker, my co-host, not coworker, my co-host Dustin. We talked about it in detail, and I asked him because now he's a free agent because he only signed a 1-year deal with the Jets,
right? And
he got traded back to Kansas City, so now he's scheduled to be a free agent.
Again.
I asked Dustin again, yeah. I asked Dustin if these allegations come out, and he's a free agent, would you want to take a chance on him? And his reply was, I didn't even finish the question. He immediately said no. No. Because if these allegations are true, why would you trust him? The only place I could see him going is staying in Kansas City for the rest of his career. If these allegations came out, and they're found out to be true, then personally, I don't think he should ever play in the NFL ever again, because you can't trust the guy.
Right.
And look, I also mentioned too, I said, you had a bad experience with the Jets, and I gotta read you this tweet from Thomas Morstead. From the top rope. He comes out on Thursday or Wednesday. And this is what he said. Get the button ready. Get the button ready, Snowman. Get the button ready.
Which button am I getting ready here?
Well,
okay. Who is it? Who is it again?
Thomas Morstead, punter.
Thomas Morstead said,
quote, "Be careful getting information from disgruntled former employees. Getting beat out by a rookie free agent after being guaranteed millions of dollars is tough to deal with. Entitlement is a killer of opportunity. You have to earn it every year." Close quote. So yeah, this dude got beaten by an undrafted rookie free agent in camp. Partially because, part of it was because he hurt his hand. He hurt his hand in camp. I get it. You get hurt. That sucks. But you're the one, and you figure you were there because Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the team. You're gonna figure, all right, I'm gonna ball out with one of the greatest quarterbacks of this era. He gets hurt 4 plays into the season, and you can't seem to get utilized by that guy, Nathaniel Hackett. And pardon the background noise. I got contractors here.
Understood.
But you're the one who has to make the opportunity for you.
Yep.
Like, if you're not on the field, help your fellow receivers. Help the guys who are like Xavier Gibson, and I can't remember the other receiver on the Jets who was undrafted free agent who won the job. Hang on. Real time research, folks. Depth chart.
Real time research.
Okay, so I can't remember his name, but he was an undrafted free agent too, and he was also the one featured during Hard Knocks. But you got to help if you're not being utilized. If you're hurt, you're not being utilized. Be a good teammate and help your teammates. Don't leak game plans because you're angry. Don't send text messages to your former teammates and your former GM saying, "Get me out of here. I want to get out of here. I'm not being used." And God bless him.
I think did he say?
Get me out of here!
I'm pretty sure it's not I'm pretty sure it's a direct quote. Yeah, he said it just like that.
Get me out of here!
Thank you, Bugs Bunny. But God bless you. You caught the game-winning pass for the Super Bowl. You won your second ring. Good for you.
Right.
But I hope the NFL does do an investigation, and I'll tell you why. But it won't happen because Kansas City Chiefs are the golden calf right now in the NFL. They're
until we beat them in New Orleans next year. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Well, I mean, in terms of sale of jersey sales,
yeah.
I mean, how many Travis Kelce jerseys are being bought by Swifties because that's her boyfriend? And 2, the NFL hates the New York Jets. They hate the New York Jets. They don't want to see them succeed. And Roger Goodell was a former intern with the New York Jets. So you will not get a tampering investigation. You will not get an investigation into possible cheating by Mecole Hardman. But all I can say to Mr. Hardman is be a better man. Don't whine. And if you're going to encounter hard times with Kansas City or whoever you're with next year, Whoever dares to sign to sign you to a contract next year for 1 year and $10 million guaranteed, good luck. Good luck, because the minute, I don't know if it's his generation or the way he or his character is, if he encounters hard times where he's not being used, or he gets hurt, or he gets beat out by a better player,
right?
Red flag.
Big
Red
time.
flag.
Big
Red
time.
flag. And I just say, look, to the NFL, please, I know you're not going to do it, but investigate it. Investigate this, because the Jets need to be rewarded with something. You got to be rewarded with something, whether it be I don't care if it's a 3rd round pick. And it'd be great if they got the number 32 pick in the 1st round. Awesome. Got to draft the quarterback. But it won't happen. It just won't happen, unfortunately. So Mecole Hardman.
Why'd you say what I was thinking, that they just need to draft a quarterback?
I mean, they do. They do. I mean, Zach Wilson's probably going to be traded. Joe Douglas came out and said it during the combine press conference. It's like, yeah, we've granted his request to seek a trade. Like, all right, thanks for coming. But Mecole Hardman, I hope you learn from this experience that nobody likes a snitch, and don't be the leaker. So you're dismissed.
What's the brew this morning, my friend?
I got Cameron's Hawaiian blend. I ordered, like I said, I got some renovations going on, so I can't do my usual French press. So I got the Keurig going, but I got some Invader coffee coming on the way. So I'm going to have the Keurig K-Cups for that very soon. So
very nice. Very nice.
Oh, and congratulations to the greatest scorer in basketball history on Saturday.
What? Oh,
you spoiled it for me. I was going to say Caitlin.
I'm sorry.
Clark.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can I start over?
Yeah,
Rewind.
Go.
Okay. Congratulations to the greatest scorer in basketball history, Caitlin Clark.
Indeed, man. Indeed. I mean, you know what? We talked everything that was wrong with some of the All-Star games. NHL, NBA, NFL. Dear God, don't get me started. But the shootout with Stephen Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, I was intrigued. And that was the only 2 minutes I watched from the entire All-Star weekend. And
I think it's going to be a fatal. I don't mean to interrupt you. I think it's going to be a fatal 4-way next year with Steph Curry, Ionescu, Caitlin Clark, and dare I say Dame Lillard, maybe?
Either him or Clay. Either him or Clay, because shucks, it might be the Splash Brothers and Damian Lillard against Ionescu, Caitlin Clark, and another one, like a 6-man tag.
Is Kyle Korver still playing in the league, or did he retire?
He retired.
Okay. I would love to see him come back and be part of that fatal 4-way.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
That would get me interested. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not a big basketball fan. Really, we don't really cover it on our show. No crunches required, but
right.
I'll put it out there. I'm a team free agent. Like I don't have a team right now. I followed the Bulls back in the 90s. I followed the New Jersey Nets because they were from New Jersey. Then they moved to Brooklyn into that shadow realm. The shadow realm.
Why they made that move?
The shadow realm, known as the Barclays Center. Shout out VIKALAAH.
Shout out VIKALAAH. I love that cup, man.
I got this at MetLife Stadium. Can't find it anywhere else. I got this in MetLife Stadium in 2016, I think. No, 2014.
2014. Well, I got to get mine. I have to make sure it's not dirt. I have to wash the thing because my daughter got me that cup for Christmas.
Yep. The 49ers cup.
Yes.
Nice.
But Caitlin Clark, a tribute to you. Matter of fact, I meant to do this in a separate segment, but since I got Ryan McCarthy here, let's go. This will be done twice. This is the first one, and then when Jay Spivey gets here in about an hour and a half, we'll talk about this again. Wait, hold on. I have to do this. What? A black man talking about women's basketball? Now give me this camera. Caitlin Clark, congratulations to you and to the Iowa Hawkeyes. And I hope y'all take down South Carolina again in the Final Four in Cleveland. Of course, I'm messing with Playmaker as South Carolina finished the season undefeated. But when I saw that record on a free throw and 15,000 go nuts in Iowa City, I believe in my heart, if they get everything together and if Molly Davis survives the injury that befell her late in the first half, I believe Iowa has a shot at winning the national championship. In fact, I would love for either a repeat of last year's national championship game with LSU and Iowa, or LSU and South Carolina getting it on for the national championship. Which brings me to this. Y'all need to move the women's Final Four out of arenas and into stadiums. Why? First and foremost, you got the Caitlin Clark effect. You can't tell me that you won't be able to sell 70,000 tickets at Lucas Oil Stadium, NRG Stadium, and places like that. Did you hear how loud the crowd was last year in Dallas? I mean, hell, you can have it at Cowboys Stadium and put 100,000 people in there. There are people that love women's college basketball. Hello, I'm one of them. I've covered women's college basketball for almost 30 years. It'll be 29 next year when I do girls and women's basketball. But it's out there, and it's going to stay out there. So NCAA, do me a favor. You got the NIL solution right, but you need to refine it. And you need to move, because if you can get the players paid, which is about time that happened, if you can do that, you can move the Final Four into stadiums. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. Juju Watkins, you're next. And I hope you take control of this and lead the next generation into women's college basketball. Since you're playing at USC, I hope you repeat or exceed the exploitations of Cheryl Miller or Cynthia Cooper, or, dare I say, Caitlin Clark. So to the NCAA, you need to move the Final Four into stadiums. Get her done. You can start with 40,000, like at the Dome in St. Louis, or you can open the whole stadium. And I close with this. If you can put 55,000, if the University of Iowa can play a game at Kinnick Stadium and put 55,000 people in Kinnick Stadium on a warm day in October, then you can't tell me you can't put 55,000 people in a stadium for the Final Four for something very, very significant. Stop the cap. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? Speaking of play-by-play, beginning this Wednesday, yours truly will provide live play-by-play coverage of the Women's Big Ten basketball tournament. That'll be at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. First game starts at 5:30. Yours truly will have the call, and we'll start our BetUS.com pregame show at 5 p.m., setting the whole thing up. And this portion with Ryan McCarthy is brought to you by Invader Coffee, aiming to serve only the highest quality organic air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free coffee trade farms all over the world. The best coffee at an affordable price. Log on to invadercoffee.com, place your order, use the code Snowman for 15% off. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless, just as Ryan McCarthy is. And speaking of Invader Coffee, I have a favor to ask. Can I have another present?
Maybe. Before I get out of here, though, I do want to ask you about this news that came out on Saturday about your San Francisco 49ers making a couple of hires. One of them was their promotion of Nick Sorensen to defensive coordinator.
Yep.
The other,
Brandon Staley.
The Aaron Boone of the NFL, Brennan Staley, is back in the NFL as the possible associate head coach.
That deal is actually... Yes, sir.
Please indulge me.
All right. Watch this.
Give him this camera.
He wants me to indulge. I shall indulge. Give me this camera.
Give me this camera.
Brandon Staley is not a head coach. Thank you, Lord. He's working under a coach that will keep him in line. Thank you, Lord. Brandon Staley has been banished to be an associate head coach. Okay? I can handle that. It's him being a head coach of an actual football team, which frightens the out of me. He has people above him. He cannot and will not ruin my beloved 49ers. Why? Because if he tries, then Kyle Shanahan will kick him in the ass. Oops. Hold on a minute. I'll say it. And I will say it and I will say it again. If Brandon Staley tries anything to wreck this 49ers team, which I believe will win the next 2 Super Bowls, Kyle Shanahan will kick him in the ass. Hard.
That's my change jar. And a former milk jar.
So Brandon Staley, in the immortal words of a coach that shall not be named, please do your job. That's Snowman's take. What is yours? That answer your question?
I'm satisfied.
Because I know I'm gonna get it most of this week. That's Ryan McCarthy appearing this morning, presented by Invader Coffee. All of our guests appear on the Invader Coffee hotline. Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Thank you, brother, very much. I love you. I'll talk to you in a week's time.
All right, tomorrow night, 8:00. No credentials required. Live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I don't call it X.
I can't call
Join
it
us.
X.
Join us.
I will definitely be there. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right.
Love you, Ryan McCarthy. So much. Hour 2 is on the way. And it's after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to those who know football. Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Second hour, Snowman in the morning, 2 minutes after thereof. And we have a brand new segment that we're going to have on Mondays going forward since we're at 3 hours now. It is the random Monday musings of
VIKALAAH.
Let's open the line and go to Chicago. Victor Locke joins me from my hometown in Chicago. Good morning, my man.
My brother, how are you doing?
Can you believe we've been friends 24 years? Is that not crazy?
It is amazing. It's a testament to what two men can do when they got love for each other. And it's hopefully we set that standard.
You know, before we get started, I got to share this funny story. I'm living in Gary, Indiana, and Victor called me, and we're talking, and about 30 minutes in, he says, well, I got to find a YMCA place. I went, huh? And he says, yeah, I got to find a YMCA place to live. I said, oh, hell no. And Victor dropped his phone and went, what? Bring your crazy ass out here. And he said, are you serious? I'm as serious as a heart attack. Bring your ass out here. 40 minutes later, I had a roommate.
And thus began the crazy misadventures of us living together.
Oh, my God. I'll share this one. I'll share this one before we get started. Victor and I, if there's one food Victor and I love, it's pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Ho Chunk Sports Complex outside of Lansing. We get rained out, so we didn't do any games, but we still got paid for all the games that were scheduled that day. So we're flying out, and Victor says to me, I'm hungry. Right on cue, my stomach starts growling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, where do you want to go? He says, let's go to IHOP. Oh, hell yeah. Fly into IHOP. And the waitress, bless her heart, sees two crazy men there, hungry crazy men, both of us laughing. She comes by, we get our appetizer, and she looks at us and says, what would you guys like to have? We both turned to her at the same time and said, pancakes!
Immediately. And what's funny is that there was a church service that just broke out when we got there. So the church folk is in there, and they're all saying, They are also saying pancakes.
Pancakes. Oh dear Lord! Look, Snowman and VIKALAAH are gonna do this is the summer. This is gonna be the summer of podcasts because I'm producing one with my daughters. I'm starring and producing in one with my wife, and then Victor and I are gonna revive ours. I'll give y'all all the details before we close up shop today. All right, man. Let's get down to business.
Okay.
First part of the random musings involves what?
There needs to be a clear-cut, concise requirements for Hall of Fame considerations.
Can I get a witness?
You have spoken about it. Mr. McCarthy has spoken about it. I've spoken about it. It has gotten to the point where we don't know who's going to get considered or why they're getting considered and who's getting snubbed.
Oh God. Oh God.
You guys may not like this person.
Oh.
But I was a big backer for T.O. to get in the Hall of Fame. His numbers spoke for themselves. Now, granted, he didn't get the big one, but T.O. was an amazing wide receiver. And everyone kept saying, "Well, what about the off the field stuff? What about stuff in the locker room? That counts." I'm like, does it help you win or lose a game?
Right.
Well, not really. There you go.
Thank you. And Victor taught that to me because I love Terrell Owens. All right. Absolutely love Terrell Owens. And then Victor got to me about what did he do on the field. And he's absolutely right. Which brings four names to mind. Darryl Johnston.
Yep.
Tom Rathman. John Taylor. And you already know the other one.
Yeah.
Roger Craig. And
again, it goes back to we need clear-cut requirements of what these individuals. First, we need a clear, concise group of people that are going to be the committee. Because it seems like right now it's just sports writers.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
The only problem with that is that the sports writers, let's be honest, they hold grudges.
Say that again. Please say that again.
They hold grudges. They get snubbed for an interview. They have a bad interview with a player, or something happens that sports writer doesn't like. They will hold on to that grudge and they will make every single argument in the book to keep them out of the Hall of Fame. That is unfair.
Terrell Owens, hello.
That is unfair.
I believe they hold a grudge against fullbacks.
Oh, especially. Because fullbacks aren't supposed to be an actual position to most people.
Kyle Juszczyk, line 1.
There you go.
Right? Kyle Juszczyk, line 1. Wearing the same number as Tom Rathman, number 44. And speaking of fullbacks, there are 3 that should be in the Hall of Fame right now. Matsui, Darryl Johnston, and Tom Rathman.
Yeah.
Now, we can go on and on about who should be in the Hall of Fame and who shouldn't, but it all depends on their accomplishments on the freaking field.
Now, I will say there's one caveat.
Yes, sir.
If there is a crime committed that is too big to ignore,
right,
I can understand it. I mean,
Same.
I know we're talking about like this, but Chris Benoit.
Yes.
There's a reason why he will never be in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think even he would want to be in the Hall of Fame with what he did.
Right.
Okay? I know a lot of people are like, well, he was a great wrestler, and he was a tremendous wrestler and a good human being. But the thing that he did was so massive and so horrific, no one can make a good excuse for him being in the Hall of Fame. So if something that happens like the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, NHL, then I get it. But all these little namby-pamby nickel and dime messes, oh, well, he didn't. I wanted an interview with him, and he said he wouldn't take an interview with me. And girl, get over it.
Ryan McCarthy in the chat. Yes, that's one of the things I hate about the Hall of Fame. Oh, you blew me off for an interview. You said something mean to me on the beat. You're not getting into the Hall of Fame, which prompts Victor's point about there should be some changes to who is voting.
Yes,
for these people to get in the Hall of Fame. Now, the one name I will continue to say should be in the Hall of Fame right now, and he will never be in the Hall of Fame because people look at his numbers and say, well, he's not worthy of the Hall of Fame because of his numbers. Okay?
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig.
Which is ridiculous because you have people with similar numbers to Roger Craig that are in. Why is he not in?
Why is Marshall Faulk? And I love Marshall Faulk. Don't get it
Absolutely.
twisted. I love Marshall Faulk from his days at San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be completely fair.
Let's be honest here. Yes.
Why is Marshall Faulk in the Hall of Fame for 1,000 season and celebrated, and this man isn't?
And it gives us a little extra weight. Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that.
It was from 1988, courtesy of CBS Sports. And y'all want to know the weird thing? That year, he did something that people forget. He led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
19. Look it up, folks. 1988. Oh, by the way, the 49ers won the Super Bowl that year.
Just thought you know. Just thought you didn't want to know.
just thought y'all wanted to know. 49ers won the Super Bowl, and the Niners, I believe, Ryan, hit the live research if you would. I believe the 49ers are the only team with 200-yard receivers in the same Super Bowl. Jerry Rice, of course, who caught 11 for 215. Roger Craig caught 9 for 101. Nah.
And you go back to so you're saying that Marshall Faulk, who had comparable numbers to Roger Craig, he is allowed in, but Roger Craig is not.
Exactly.
Not to mention Roger Craig has won Super Bowls. Just
three of them.
Like Marshall Faulk did. Just like Marshall Faulk did.
Marshall Faulk has won 1, but Roger Craig has won 3.
Right.
Why is Roger Craig not in the Hall of Fame?
So it goes down to who is voting.
If you want to talk about championships and people want to judge players and people by championships, folks, Roger Craig has 3 of them.
And I understand that because people will say, well, all the stats don't matter if you don't get the big one, which
is a lie, but go ahead.
I do understand that to some degree. Because we look at certain other people in other sports where they have a lot of stats, but they don't have the chips to back it up.
We'll save that for Wednesday.
Exactly. But you also have to look at the impact that these players had. And Roger Craig, let's make no mistake about it.
None.
Was an impact player.
I mean, when a lot of people don't know this, when Roger Craig was drafted by San Francisco, he was a fullback. He was a fullback at the University of Nebraska. All right. And then all of a sudden, Tom Rathman gets drafted, and he's a fullback. And the next thing you know, you have an award-winning backfield.
Right.
You have award-winning backfield. What is wrong with this? Okay, and Roger Craig didn't get recognized. What is wrong with this picture?
I have no idea. But it's got to get to the point where we got to kick these beat writers out. Because
we got to get some fresh blood in there. How about that?
Because seeing like a lot of these beat writers, there's a bit of homerism involved. It's not my team. If it's not part of my team that I cover, I'm not going for them. Or as before, it's a grudge. You snubbed me for an interview. We had a bad interview. You did something I didn't like. I'm not letting you in.
You, I, and Ryan need to be on the Hall of Fame voting ballot.
Yeah.
and to be a part of and to be a part of the NFL. Okay,
saying
I'm working on that. I get, believe me, y'all, I'm working on that.
I'd
All
love to
right.
do it. I'm just saying,
Ryan
fair across the
McCarthy
board.
Ryan McCarthy wants to be commissioner of Major League Baseball in 2030. Let's get it.
Hashtag McCarthy for commish.
Yes.
Let's do it.
God, yes. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Because
let's do this, man. I mean, why can't we? That's my question. Why can't we?
I don't know. I don't see a reason why not.
I don't see a reason either.
It's time for us. It's just time for the Hall of Fame to get better. I mean, let's talk about Pete Rose.
Oh God, Barry Bonds.
Mm-hmm. Still not in the Hall of Fame. Why?
Roger Clemens.
Because
the government has a grudge. And listen, I do not condone performance enhancers. I do not condone the use of performance enhancers. LeBron James, I'm roasting your ass on Wednesday about that. Oh yeah, I'm dropping look. The bomb's already been dropped.
Right.
Okay, let's be real. The bomb has already been dropped.
Well, let's also look at this. Like, okay, performance-enhancing drugs, especially in the form of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it allows you to hit harder. It does not train your eyes. It does not enhance your eyes or your vision. It does not enhance your timing.
Mm-hmm.
It does not enhance the other intricacies that allows you to not only hit the ball, but hit the ball for power.
Mm-hmm. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, sweet Lord, Mark
Big
McGwire,
man.
Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, Rafael Palmeiro, Sammy Sosa, all should be in the Hall of Fame. McCarthy for commish, absolutely. Going back to football, there's a receiver that should be in the Hall of Fame that did this on a Monday night game.
Sight adjustment. The quarterback and the receiver must see the same thing and agree on it and alter their throw and route accordingly. Misfire that time.
Craig is in motion on 2nd and 10, and
Montana this is from 1989.
As he hits the tight end Brent Jones, his 4th catch of the game, out to the 8-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3 Miller.
Believe me, folks, the play I want to highlight, the player that I want to highlight is coming up here very, very soon. All right. Good morning, Wise El Jefe. I hope you're doing well, my brother. I understand the loss of it. I understand the loss of a parent. Both of mine are gone, but I hope you're doing well, my friend. This is the player I want to highlight right here.
From just outside the 8. And Montana throws in wide open at the 20-yard line is Taylor with the defensive back falling down. Newman can't make the tackle. Taylor is inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown San Francisco. 92 yards.
That's the player or one of the players on that team that should be in the Hall of Fame. John Taylor out of Delaware State.
You know what's so sad?
John freaking Taylor.
You know what's so disrespectful about that is the fact that he knew exactly when to make his cut. And he hesitated for just a smidge so the defender could go right past him and fall down. And all I can think is push those children out of the way. That's
knock down the paralyzed cornerback.
Yep.
And get into the end zone where I can celebrate
help
with
others. Oh,
but why? What? Speaking of Wise, Wise El Jefe, this is for you.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
I'm saying that for a while.
Yes.
Coming up.
Yes.
We are 1 month away. We are 1 month away.
Baseball.
Yep.
Baseball. Why isn't Don Mattingly in the Hall of Fame? We can go on forever about people who should be in the Hall of Fame, but we're up against the break. Let's pause and come back. More random musings with VIKALAAH and the Cowboys. I'll just leave it there. and Victor and I are going to have some fun with the Cowboys being stuck forever in mediocrity. Back after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You kids from the block. New edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Michael Jordan's number 23 after the hour. Victor Locke has joined me. Thank you to everybody in the Fanatics feedback zone. Do me a favor, folks. We got a second channel that's in the works, and we want to get it monetized. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, log on to youtube.com/@SNWMN Multimedia. That's at SNWMN Multimedia. We're making a transition. We'd love to get this channel monetized before month's end. And as we continue along, the second part of the random musings of Okay. When I talked to Victor this morning on the phone, I asked him, what's on the docket, because how we're going to do this, Victor's going to pick 3 subjects. I'm going to create the graphics therein, and we'll go just like we did. The first one, Hall of Fame voters and credentials need to be improved or changed. The second one, and Victor heard me drop the phone laughing. I'm going to let Victor take it from there. Go ahead.
So,
wait. Before you go,
okay.
The second subject involves a team very dear to Victor that has a few problems. So,
let's get ready to rumble!
And go.
So, in honor of the newest name change from Tyrese Cisco McKnight to now Tyrone Alexander McDummy, as we now call him Tam.
Oh, Tam.
Big shout.
I'll stop there.
I said big shout out to Cole Johnson and Sensei Drew for that.
The master producer, Cole Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now we get to we're now sort of coming down from the high of the Super Bowl. Congrats to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. And congrats to the 49ers. Y'all will see those two
Absolutely.
not only in New Orleans. I'm going to make a prediction right here and now before Victor gets going. Not only will they renew their acquaintances in New Orleans, they're going to do it in Santa Clara.
Big ups to the 49ers to become one of the dynamos of the NFL this past season. Which now leads me to my team.
And they did it with Brock Purdy. Oops!
Which
They
now
did,
leads me to my team.
they did it with Mr. Irrelevant. Oops!
Mm-hmm. Which now leads me to my team.
Oh, dear Lord.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
The team who is now, I believe, to be the longest team with a Super Bowl drought.
Uh-huh. Can I laugh now? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And with everything that I have heard and I have read,
and you've read a lot,
there's no signs of that changing.
What?
For one, once again, who is our head coach? The clown. Pennywise is still the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We're not going anywhere.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Victor. I'm so sorry for you.
And also, who is going to be our starting quarterback for the foreseeable future?
Mr. Dak Prescott.
That'd be you, Dak Prescott. I will say.
Can I laugh now? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I will say he did a very good job in terms of stats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he went over 10 interceptions. Good for you.
Oh, God.
There is a problem.
Oh, dear.
Once again, the bright lights, you once again shrank. I have said this multiple times. Dak is not bad talent-wise.
Right.
He has shown that he can throw the football. He's shown that he can run the football. He's shown that he can be a decent quarterback. The problem is that when it comes to the big lights, when it comes to the bright lights, when it comes to prime time, once again, he shrinks.
Mm-hmm.
Not even late great Vern Troyer could be smaller than Dak when it comes to the bright lights. And Gerald Dak Daniels Jones still wants to get behind. He still wants to get behind Dak Prescott to the point where the projection for a Dak Prescott extension could be another $180 million.
Get the out of here.
Yes.
Are you serious?
He could possibly.
Yes, you are. Yeah, what the hell am I talking about? Yes, you are serious.
He could possibly get $180 million. I'm saying possibly because we don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, no. Nope.
Yet, the Cowboys still refuse to actually look for better offensive linemen. They're possibly going to lose Tyron Smith.
And I can tell you exactly where Tyron Smith may end up. You already know the answer.
If he has Santa Clara, I'm going to start drinking heavily.
I don't even. All right, you baited me, but why?
If he goes, do you guys really need an extra helping hand at this point?
Being NFC champions, yes.
You guys nearly steamrolled the entire NFC. Do you guys need any extra help?
Yes.
Now I know how people who were against the Eagles felt. Because the Eagles were getting helping hand, and they were already steamrolling everybody. Which I think they will do again this coming year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I can't. And what aggravates me is our fan base.
Oh dear, here it comes.
The Moronic Republic, who have proclaimed.
Oh no.
that we're going to do it next year. No one's
What?
We're going to do it next year. We're going to do it next year. We're going to do it next year. We're going to have everybody. We're going to have Dak. CeeDee Lamb's going to be there. We're going to get it together. We're going to finally turn the corner. And my first thought is, how? You guys still are adverse to running the football. You don't even have a running back to run the football with. Tony Pollard is not the answer.
Can I get a witness?
Tony Pollard is not the answer. I'm sorry. He's not.
Oh, okay. I'll interject here very briefly. I will interject here very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I heard so many Lion fans after the great comeback in the NFC Championship by Brock Purdy scream, Brock Purdy is not him, and yet he's proven that he is. That's my sentence for Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is not him.
No. And he has yet to prove that he is.
Say that again, please.
He's yet to prove that he is.
Amen to that.
Now, I will also say that's also because his coach staff is hampering him, because he's barely getting 30 touches per game.
Right.
He's got to touch the football if he's going to be your runner.
That would be true.
He's good. To me, one of the best plays for Dak Prescott to succeed is the play action. You can't use play action if you can't run the football.
Listen up, Mike McCarthy. I'm sorry, Ryan. I slipped.
Yeah, that's why I call him Penny West for that reason.
That is a horrid. Yeah, give me this button. And
No.
But
for me, I don't do it, but just to add a little humor.
Stay off the weed.
I apologize for that to Ryan and to you, my friend. Go ahead.
So the thing is, and now we're also seeing a slight dip in defensive productivity.
Uh-huh.
Mike Parsons did well.
Yeah.
But he slipped too.
Hey, man, can you say that again?
Micah Parsons has also slipped, which I would say, but again, stay off social media.
Please.
It is getting to the point where the Moronic Republic has expressed to me that somehow, some way, we'll get a really great season. We'll somehow beat the 49ers. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. We'll sweep everybody in our division. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. And if we get all the way there, we will be able to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, provided they make it there again next year.
How?
I don't know. They need some realism into this. Again, we might be losing Tyron Smith. We'll probably have Dak for another year. Now, if you're going to say that, yes, we can still make it to the Super Bowl with this team, the only way that's going to work is the draft. And Lord have mercy.
After what happened last year,
exactly,
and you reacted live with us. How many? What did we have? Like 8 people?
We had 8 people,
oh,
and four of us were Cowboy fans.
Yes.
It was myself.
Yes.
General BS3.
Mm-hmm.
We had the King Dog, and we had Mr. Deets.
Mm-hmm. 4 rational thinking Cowboy fans.
All of us were groaning.
Oh my God.
After the first pick. So if you guys really believe that the Cowboys are going to make the Super Bowl this coming year, either you have some sort of God-given foreseeable foresight that I do not?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're delusional?
Wait. I wasn't ready.
Again, either you have some sort of that's so Raven for I can see into the future type of gifts, or you're just delusional. I just don't see it any other way. Some things have to go right. For one, we need to get a stellar, as you like to say, Snowman, bell cow running back.
Can I get a witness?
That can carry us into the season. That's the first thing. You need to have a really strong offensive line that can not only protect the quarterback, because they did do that well. They did protect the quarterback. They did keep Dak Prescott off the ground. So I got to give them props for that.
Absolutely.
The other thing they have to do is they have to start to run block. Run blocking and pass blocking are two different monsters.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Pass protecting is you make a shield so that the quarterback stays upright.
Mm-hmm.
Run blocking is you now have to create holes within that defensive line for the running back to go through.
Right.
And you have to have a running back that is fast enough and strong enough to get through even if there is resistance.
I love you for this.
I'm sorry, Monarch Republic. I know I'm speaking too rationally.
Wait.
I'm actually using intelligence.
Hold up. I got something better. Oh, jeez. Okay. You know what this fan is speaking?
English. Do you speak it?
I'm speaking logic. That may be alien to the Moronic Republic. Might even be blasphemous, but I'm speaking as a Cowboys fan who would like to see another Super Bowl before he croaks.
Yes.
Now, I don't plan on croaking no time soon, but still.
You better not.
But still, it's high time for the Dallas Cowboys to look at everything critically, and it starts at the top with Mr. Gerald Dak Daniels Jones. Put the bottle down.
He said Jack Daniels Jones. I love it.
Put the bottle down and actually look at this mess you've made critically.
He said Jack Daniels Jones.
It's time to look at this critically.
Yes.
For God's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I am tired of the same morons. And I gotta throw my boy here. Much as I love him as a player, he's become very clownish. I'm talking about you, Michael Irvin. You know what champions are supposed to be like.
Supposedly.
You know what it means to be an elite player. Let's not play stupid. We're talking about clowns in Cowboys in Cowboy Nation. It's about the biggest clown. That'd be you, Skip.
Oh, God.
You supposedly have seen greatness.
Supposedly.
But yet.
Hey, listen. Once upon a time, Skip Bayless was covering the Bulls.
Exactly.
Along with Jeff Joniak.
So at some point, Skip, you got to look at this critically and start calling people out.
The way they need to.
There needs to be a come to Jesus meeting. And if it has to happen in Arlington, where they have just a town hall and get every Cowboys fan and they stand them in front of Jerry Jones and the rest of the bunch, and they have a straight come to Jesus meeting.
Just like the Redskins fans did for Daniel Snyder.
Exactly. To explain why they find this so insulting and so aggravating that we keep saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, and yet we don't get anywhere near closer. We took a step backwards this past year.
Badly.
We didn't make it to the divisional round. We lost we basically lost to a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love.
Who improved greatly.
I will give him that. I will give the man his flowers.
I'll pick on Trey Larkins till the cows come home, but Jordan Love has vastly improved the second half of the year, and he's going into this coming year with a whole lot of momentum, folks.
Yes, I'll give them credit for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gotten ridiculous. And again, like I said, we are talking about extending Dak for another year. So you guys are still going to hitch your wagon to Dak. Dak is not getting younger. Okay? Not saying he's old, but Dak's not getting any younger.
Mm-mm.
And the punishment that he has taken these past couple years, save this one, is only going to make it harder for him to succeed. And this team, we always talk about teams who are built for success. This team has intentionally built themselves for mediocrity.
Y'all hear the song I'm playing in the background, and I'm doing this just to tease Victor.
And let me throw a shout out to the most elites of Eagles elites. My brother Cool Breeze McCain, where he says,
Mr. McCain, yes, sir.
Most O-lines like run blocking versus pass blocking because they get to attack the defense versus being on their heels pass blocking. And that's absolutely true.
Yep.
Offensive linemen, I was one of them back in high school.
Yes.
We love to go at the defense.
We love to hit people.
If we can cause penetration,
we love to hit people.
Yes. If we can cause penetration and gain a hole or a seam or seal off a corner, that's something else that the Cowboys have not really practiced, is how to seal off corners. Sometimes you can't always go between numbers. I get that.
Week 5.
There are toss routes. There are toss plays.
Week 5. All I gotta say is week 5.
Yeah, I know. Week 5, where we got spanked. Well, how do you say it, Snowman? We got spanked by San Fran. And I take the beating every single day or every single year. And I'll continue to do it. I'll take the beatings. Because I'm not going to run away when my team loses. But I'm also not going to sit here and just be like, oh, we're going to give them next year. I don't know how. We're just going to give them next year. We're going to do it. Look at this team critically, guys. You want the team to succeed? You got to stop looking at it through the blue and silver color glasses.
Is it blue and silver?
Stop riding blue and silver painted horses when you get one win into Walmarts and Targets. That's ridiculous.
Against the bad team.
Against bad teams. You're supposed to win against bad teams. Leads to how you guys lost to Arizona.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
It is time for the Moronic Republic. If we have to pull them kicking and screaming into the actual logistic light, that's what we have to do then. Because it is getting tiring for the Moronic Republic to keep going out here and making us look bad. Making us look embarrassed because, oh, we have to look at it as this is how we're supposed to be. It's ridiculous, guys. Would I like to see the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl next year? Yes. Do I see it happening?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He said, let's not. Cool McCain, brother, love you very much. He said, let's not talk about Arizona.
I understand.
I
understand.
He said, let's not talk about Arizona. That's right, because Arizona beat both of you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I don't know either.
Because because when the Eagles lost to Arizona, that gave the Niners the number 1 seed. Because the Eagles were right there.
Mm-hmm. If we lost to I know they changed our quarterback when they played against us.
Mr. McCain, I gotta thank you and Coach Dante, like I did earlier this morning, for your patience and for you putting the foot in my ass about getting everything together. I love you guys. Thank you. Go ahead, Victor.
I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it no more. I know that I think they changed quarterbacks when they went against us. I don't think it was Kyler that beat us.
No. Kyler was not there.
Right. So we had a bit of a better quarterback then, because if we had lost to Kyler Murray-led Arizona Cardinals,
oh geez,
I probably would have ran headfirst into the first solid object I saw. I would have ran headfirst.
It was Joshua Dobbs. Joshua
Dobbs. Okay.
Dobbs.
But I don't understand how, after such an embarrassing loss, which I've said before was probably the worst loss for the Cowboys in playoff time.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the one against San Fran where we decided to let our center spot the football. Not even the divisional round where, again, against San Francisco, we decided to allow Ezekiel Elliott, who at the one time was our star running back, to be our center. No, not those. This one hurt more. Because we should have, all the purposes, should have steamrolled Green Bay.
Oh my God.
We should have steamrolled Green Bay, and we look like rookies against an actual rookie.
Y'all hear the frustration out of my homie's voice, right?
Because I love this team.
Yeah. What was it? 1991?
Yeah.
1991.
I mean, if Dak Prescott could display half the talent of a Troy Aikman, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
True.
If Tony Pollard had half the talent of an Emmitt Smith, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb, who has done extremely well. CeeDee Lamb is really good. But if he had more of that playmaker, Michael Irvin type of flair, we would not be having
ability.
We would
I'm
not
saying it. And ability.
We wouldn't be having this type of conversations.
Can I get a witness?
And maybe they can't have the same talent, but there was one thing that those three gentlemen that I spoke of, they have that this team does not. And then something that I'll talk about in the next segment.
Heart.
Yeah. More so, manhood.
Uh-huh.
Because I have not seen that from this Cowboy set yet. Grab yourself by the you-know-whats and play like you mean it. When you guys went out there in week 5 and looked like dejected little girls, and they came out and played like dejected little girls.
Yep.
That was when I said, our season is over.
And they talked a whole lot of mess to me.
Oh, yeah.
They talked a whole lot of the Moronic Republic, not you, not Dietz, not King Dog or Ben. I had been on the show leading up to week 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember.
He flat said, I'm afraid.
How could you not be? You saw how amazingly well they played up to week 5.
Right.
And then we come off, we steamroll the first 2 teams, sorry, Wise. We lose to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
We steamroll in week 4. We come back and we play like donkeys. We play like absolute donkeys.
Mm-hmm.
No, to take it from one of my legendary mentors, Mr. Chris Bates, we played like booty.
Booty.
Then we played in the wild card round and still played like booty. And now we're on Republic. I say again, folks, 5.6 seconds.
Yeah, close this segment with that story, please.
So, after this humiliating loss against Green Bay Packers, I decided, you know what? We got about 90 seconds before the final gun. I'm gonna put my stopwatch on. I'm gonna go on my Discord. I'm gonna see when the first Morocco Republic member decides to say that we're supporting next year. Right. So I set my stopwatch with 90 seconds left to go. The final gun hits. I press start. 5.6 seconds later, we got them next year. This was a fluke. We got them next year.
Didn't they say that about the 49ers?
Yep. Now it's 15 seconds. Now 5.6. This is what I have to deal with.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Oh, jeez. Placenta booty.
Yeah. That's how the Cowboys played this past year.
Oh,
so I don't want to hear up until kickoff of 2024. I don't want to hear another Morocco Republic saying we're going to Super Bowl this year.
But you're going to hear it. You know that.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, my gosh. Man, you one of the best. You know that? I love you.
I appreciate it, brother.
You're one of the best, man.
I appreciate
it. And I knew this would be the longest of the 3 segments. This is a perfect transition into hour 3. You want to sponsor the show and hear stuff like this and have this carry your network, drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. I'm working on a new email address, which I hope to have active this week, but use snowmaninthemorning@gmail.com. Hour 3. Yes. Hour 3. And Victor's going to do some more testifying, and I'm going to join him because there's no heart in the NBA anymore. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Good Grigamiggets. But before we go to hour 3, I have to give y'all this funny husband story. So right after Jody and I got married, we get an invite to go to Omaha, Nebraska for a job interview, and they paid for everything. They paid for our hotel, they paid for our meals, all that good stuff. They even paid for a rental car. The company that we were interviewing with, they paid for a rental car. Okay. And it was a Hyundai Tucson. Now we're getting ready to pull out of the garage, and Jody's trying to set her phone up to put it into the speaker, and we kept getting another person's phone. Why? And I told you this one, Victor, when we got back. Why? Because, bless her heart, the driver next to us was in our system.
Oh, wow.
But the best part of one of the best parts of that trip to Omaha. And now, folks, we had to rush to get to our plane in Indianapolis. We get to the plane, and we had to be there like 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
We are flying to get to our plane. We get in the plane. Thank you, George Carlin. And if y'all know why I said get in the plane, look up Flying on the Airlines by George Carlin, 1992. So take off, land, get to the garage, pick up a car, and we're going to the hotel. All right, because we want to crash before we meet her cousin. We meet her cousin and her husband for dinner, and her husband's 6'6".
Oh boy.
Yep. Her cousin's husband is 6'6". We're driving to the hotel, and we drive by this place, this restaurant, as a matter of fact. Folks, there's a restaurant, and it's called Pitch. Okay? Keep that in mind. My honey says, look, Pitch. What? I'm fogged out, okay? I'm tired. I'm exhausted. She said, no, Pitch. What? I thought she said the other word.
Right.
And she's pointing to the restaurant. I'm driving. She's pointing to the restaurant. She says, honey, look. I looked to my right, and there is a restaurant called Pitch. And I'm going, oh, Pitch. As in, here's the.
Mm-hmm.
Never stop laughing. We ain't stopped laughing yet after that one.
I know you haven't.
Wait till Jody and I start sharing stories on our podcast.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Now,
and I believe that you guys' podcast is one that needs to happen.
You know what Jody said to me when I presented the idea to her? She immediately said, if we do a podcast, it's going to be an award winner.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Because now 2 of my family members, my daughters, are going to do a podcast together, and I'm going to produce that. Cheyenne's going to do one called Pull Yourself Together, and we take the first episode of that when she gets back from vacation.
Okay.
I'm going to produce that, and I told Cheyenne, I said, baby girl, I can't be in the same room. And she looks at me with worry and goes, why not? I said, honey, I know you. And you're going to say some stuff that will have me on the floor laughing.
Yep.
Hi, Pumpkin. And she's like, hold on a second, folks. I got you, Pumpkin. Hey, everybody. Not going out? All right. My kitten. Hey! Okay, there we go. But she immediately said that's going to be an award winner.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a title for it yet. We're going to get one. It's probably going to be Tall Man and The Adventures of Tall Man and Dr. K.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad part, and the crazy part is, Victor and I are going to do a podcast, and I think we decided on launching this summer.
Yeah, we did.
We decided on launching this summer. Oh dear God! And they say men can't work together. 58 after the hour, 2 minutes before hour 3. Victor's got one more segment. Then he's going to ride shotgun with me for the remainder of the show. Our executive producer is Cole Johnson. Our associate producer is the super producer himself, Shane Lake. Thank you all for listening. Hour 3 after this.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
fellas who know football. Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Here we go with hour 3, and we got NBA action. We got college basketball action. March Madness is a couple of weeks away. The tournament, and if y'all want to go see the Final Four in either Cleveland for the women or Phoenix, Arizona for the men, let old Snowman help you with the power of SeatGeek. With just a few taps on your phone, you can find the best seats for all of your entertainment. Download the app, pick the seat you want at your selected event, and most importantly, use the code Snowman Multimedia for $20 off of your first purchase. For those of you watching on YouTube, the link will be in the description below, beginning today and with every broadcast therein. That's only with the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan. 2 minutes after the third hour, and Victor has one more thing that we're going to get to, and then Jay Spivey will join us at the bottom of the hour. And this is the third part of the Random Monday Musings of Off we go with hour 3, and Victor wants to talk about what?
The lack of manhood, the lack of heart, the lack of pride.
Did you say pride?
I'll say it straight out. The lack of balls.
Hold on a minute. There's something I need to find for that. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
In today's NBA.
Now,
I guess
modern fans will tell you to
stop it. Get some help.
Me, I don't think that way. I never have, and I never will.
Well,
I'm not telling you to stop it. I'm telling you to keep going. And if you know what, I'll describe the NBA this way, Mr. Johnson.
Trays.
I'll say usually the modern NBA fan kind of gives me that Samuel L. Jackson treatment. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Samuel L.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I love you for this. Samuel L. When he said,
I don't remember asking you a thing.
Exactly. Now I gotta tell this story. A lot of people know about one of my coworkers in the office,
mm-hmm.
who has, who sees the show,
mm-hmm.
and who knows me by my moniker.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she was actually at home when you and I went off on the All-Star game. she and her husband having breakfast.
Yes.
And then we start going in on the All-Star game. And she said her husband raised the glass and she had to dart over and see if there was alcohol in it because she wasn't quite sure.
Oh my heavens. I love it already.
She said, but her husband could not agree more with us.
Oh man.
The question really comes to where did the initial pride of being an NBA player go? I mean, you look at the likes of, say, a Magic Johnson, a Patrick Ewing, a Larry Bird, a Muggsy Bogues, Isaiah Thomas, Moses Malone, Dr. J, Pistol Pete, Jerry West. Do I need to go further? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And the real king.
Clyde the Glide Drexler. Oh, I'll get to him in a bit.
Okay.
The Admiral.
Yep. David Robinson.
Dennis Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley.
Sir Charles. Yes.
Karl Malone, the mailman. Sean Kemp. The glove, Gary Payton.
Yep.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Shout out to Mr. Carter Johnson.
Out of the University of Houston, longtime Houston Rocket. Yes.
And yes. Well, let's go into the Bulls. Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Bill Cartwright, B.J. Armstrong, Stacey King, Will Perdue, John Paxson. We'll go to later ones. Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr.
Who won a championship, folks. Okay. You mentioned two of the best shooters ever.
Mm-hmm.
John Paxson, Steve Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
John Spider Sally, Ron Harper.
Let me say those names again. John Paxson, Steve Kerr, Ron Harper, who became a defensive whiz.
Mm-hmm.
He became a defensive whiz under the tutelage of Phil Jackson. People don't want to say that.
And of course, be remiss to talk about the heart of the NBA without talking about the true king.
Michael Jordan.
His airness himself, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All of a sudden now, we go from that. We go from that
to what we see today.
That Coliseum of gladiators.
Uh-huh. Let me give you a few more. Bernard King.
Moses
Malone.
I said Moses Malone.
You mentioned Julius. Robert
Bill Russell.
Robert Parrish. Kevin McHale. I know you mentioned him, but I'll say
Chamberlain.
Larry Joe Bird.
Will Chamberlain.
Wilt the Stilt. Yep.
Mr. 100.
Mm-hmm.
That Coliseum of gladiators, what we used to call them, gladiators.
Absolutely.
They take an elbow, they brush the blood off their nose, and they go back to playing defense.
You ain't getting any free baskets.
Right.
You come in the lane against those guys. Kevin McHale.
Mm-hmm.
And the Houston Rockets messed up badly by letting him go.
Kurt Rambis,
AC Green. Right?
Mm-hmm.
AC Green. Let me think. Since we're talking about Grant Hill, yep. And I already mentioned Bernard King. Oh, by the way, I get to piss off some bronze sexuals. I'm not going to do the full segment today, but I'll say a name that I've said often is better than you know who in playing the forward.
Tom Chambers. We went from that Coliseum of gladiators.
Let me say that again. Tom Chambers. You understand me?
We went from
Tom Chambers.
We went from that Coliseum of gladiators to Charmin Harden. Kyrie Herbal Tea.
Oh, thank you, Shane. Bill Laimbeer. James Buddha Edwards. Right? All of these guys. And we went from that to go.
To Charmin Harden. Kyrie Herbal Tea.
Trash.
Joel Embiid. Sorry, JJ.
He said Joel Embiid.
I mean, Anthony Davis, Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass. Thank you, Cole Johnson.
And of course, I know it's not Wednesday.
Oh, God.
But we got to bring him up because this is pertinent to him.
Mm-hmm.
The so-called Kang, LeBron Raymond James.
You know what? We got about 19 minutes. Screw it.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
It's all yours.
Now, the reason why I had to bring up LeBron, because a lot of this does revolve around him. Because up until recently, and I mean, that's about 5 years ago.
Yes.
There's been a significant lack of defense being played, not just in the regular season, but look at what we saw this past, 2 weekends ago? With the All-Star game? 200 points? Really? But then we have bronzexuals mainly, but most other modern NBA fans who will say this is the toughest era to play in the NBA. Get me out of here! That's what most of the real NBA fans are saying.
I can't play the other one because it's got a swear word in it, and I promised my wife I wouldn't swear during the broadcast. But go.
No, that one's totally apropos because that's what a lot of real NBA fans are saying.
Preach.
Get me out of here.
Preach.
What is this crap that is now being...
Wait. How do you put it? What is this foolishness?
This foolishness. It's gotten to the point where these guys don't want to play defense or their form of defense, which I will have to blame Adam Silver for because he's the one that decided to make all these new rule changes.
2014, when he became commissioner.
He made all these new rule changes of what defense is.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy I used to watch called Bruce Blitz. He used to talk about this all the time.
God, yes. Bruce Blitz. Love you.
The lack of hand checking.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hand check anymore. There's a lot of things that you could do defensively back in the day that you can't do now. You can't even have bad breath around another player unless it's a foul.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying go all Draymond Green on people.
No. We're not saying or condoning that at all. We're not.
But for God's sakes,
play defense.
Act like you have.
Listen, Robert Montgomery Knight said it best when they brought him back to Assembly Hall. God love you, Bobby Knight. Play defense.
Act like you are a player.
Yes.
I mean, I watched that. I listened to your broadcast. Iowa State's latest game when Caitlin Clark breaks the record. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, this sounds like the women of a college basketball team are playing more defense than an NBA team or a collection of NBA All-Stars.
You know my next 3 words.
Find the lie.
Thank you. Find the lie.
Find the lie.
Find the lie.
But you have all these people saying that this is the toughest one. Nick wrong.
Oh, God. Wait. There's another legend. Dikembe Mutombo.
Alonzo Mourning.
Alonzo Mourning. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tim Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway.
And two of my favorite guards who are severely underrated. Mark Price, Kevin Johnson.
Keep going. Larry Johnson.
LJ.
Charles Oakley.
The Oak Tree.
This is the problem that we've been seeing. And Nick Wrong sat there and said, those guys wouldn't be able to do anything in this era. What?
You know my next 4 words, and they are as follows. Who told this lie? Man, Victor's heard me say that so much.
Every single time Nick Wrong opens his mouth, it's a lie.
Wait. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Victor. What did Nick Wrong say again, please?
He said, all of the names that I put up, all those guys in the past, they wouldn't be able to do anything in this form in this new rendition of the NBA.
That was a lie.
Like, what?
Liar.
What?
Nick Wrong is a straight up liar. You a straight up liar, Nick Wrong.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh,
let's bring Shaq Diesel.
The Shaq attack. I love it.
It's gotten ridiculous, and they wonder why the viewership for the NBA has gone down. This will be why.
Oh, here are my next 3 words again. Find the lie.
This would be why. Because the old schoolers, the true NBA fans, saw the wars between Bad Boy Pistons, Chicago Bulls.
1989.
The LA Lakers and the Boston Celtics.
85, 87, 84.
The New York Knicks versus everybody.
All of the 90s.
We saw wars. We saw men go out there and battle against other men for the top of the throne.
We saw 7-game series. That meant something.
We saw players.
Damn it.
We saw players who, whether they got hurt or whether they got sick, I'm not saying do it all the time.
Right. Got to preserve your body.
Got to preserve your body because that is your biggest asset.
Especially your legs.
But
especially your legs.
But the legendary performances, like say one Michael Jordan, when he was dog sick with the flu.
Did you say flu?
Flu. Influenza.
You said the flu, right?
Yes.
I want to be sure I heard that correct. Okay, you said flu.
We saw legendary individuals who wanted to play all 82 games.
Can I get a witness?
And didn't find namby-pamby reasons as to why they didn't want to or why they would breach their contract. Kyrie.
James Harden. LeBron James. And
I don't like what this person did, so I'm not going to play.
And this impromptu Bron-sexual confessions centers around not only James Harden and Kyrie, but Bron. Bron started. Ooh, I can't say it the way I wanted, but I will say it. I will edit it. Bron started this mess.
It's got to the point where, like, these guys are finding reasons to not play.
Yep. Kyrie.
I know people who would like clamor, "Let me in, coach. I know my leg hurts. I know my leg is near broken, but let me play.
Let me do something.
Let me contribute to my team's success.
Let me do something, please."
Now they pull on all George Carlin. It's too rainy outside. I can't play. If it gets raining outside, they don't play. I can't play. It's already outside. Where's the heart?
Where's the balls?
I mean, you look at likes of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. I'm sure they were friends. Yeah. They didn't want to play with each other though. They're like, no, I want to beat you.
But they were at war on the court. What happened to that? What happened to, you know what? You mentioned the king, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the flu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here you go.
During the season. And the game is tied at 85.
Marv, the Bulls have been here so many times. The huge games, year after year. The confidence, the poise, the determination, the discipline and organization down the stretch, all paying off right now with Jordan masterfully at the line.
Jordan able to scoop up the loose ball for the possession with 40 seconds remaining. The game tied at 85. 10 on the shot clock. Pippen backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan from Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan from straight away. He looks like he's a boxer just hanging on along the ropes, but able to hit for three.
There's a reason I'm extending this.
Beautiful feed. Ostertag cuts it to 1.
You got a foul right now. You got a foul. Karl Malone, what are you doing?
We're down to 10 seconds.
You got a foul.
As they open the floor. Able to put it home from Tony Kukoc.
What happened to that brand of, what's the word I'm looking for? Basketball.
I want to address something that Sick Diggy said earlier. He said it was actually food poisoning. It could have been food poisoning. I still think there were some traces of the flu in as well. It could be one or two things. He may very well be right.
Right.
The point I'm trying to make is that food poisoning is nothing to sneeze at either.
Mm-mm.
It will put you on your behind.
It will put you on your ass. Been there.
Been there too.
Been 2015. And y'all know the wars I went through in 2015. Go.
The problem, though, is that, again, there doesn't seem to be any initiative. There's no work ethic. We see more of these players.
Back up. Did you say work ethic?
Work ethic. WORKETHIC.
That's what I thought you said.
We see more of these players in the club dancing and throwing dollar bills than in the gym throwing up shots.
One of the masters of that, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Let me put something in perspective about Kobe, right? This was the thing that made me absolutely respect him more than most players.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe, when his knee got hurt, around the same time, one of his children were born.
Yeah.
They did a documentary about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding his baby on the treadmill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's holding his baby while he's trying to rehab his knee to get back on the court.
Yep.
This man was fighting an allegation. You guys know what I'm talking about from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
He was fighting to stay out of jail. All the while, he was still on the court. If anyone had an excuse to take a break from the court, it was him.
And he didn't.
R.I.P. Black Mamba.
And I'm slowly developing that attitude toward doing the show and everything like that. Because as I said earlier, when I was in a pool full of tears, I nearly canceled the show today. But I said, no, let me just settle on 9 o'clock and get started. We got J Spivey coming in 11 minutes, 24 after the hour. Random musings of VIKALAAH with us. And I repeat a question that Victor said, and I got to get in on the fun here. Where's the heart? And I'm also gonna say something that a lot of bronze sexuals are not going to agree with. Yo, Kang ruined the NBA. Period.
Not wrong.
Find the freaking lie.
I mean, you look at the NBA now; it's so soft.
Softer
it's
than
so soft.
What do I always say? Softer than my daughter's pillow.
I'm not saying to try and kill yourselves on the court.
No,
but
not saying that at all.
Play like you got some muscle behind you. Play like you got some heart. Play like you want it.
Speaking, wait. Speaking of the real king, one thereof, the other wears 33.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to February 16th, 1989.
Mm-hmm.
A day before MJ's birthday, he did this.
Cressy looks to bring it in. He comes in, throws it away. The Bulls have it. Here comes Michael Jordan on the drive, 5 seconds. Jordan on the drive, right of the lane, 18 players. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Rest in peace to the late, great Jim Durham and the late, great Johnny Kerr.
Mm-hmm. And I'll also say this.
Go ahead.
There are some inklings of that toughness. And I think that's probably the word I should have used, toughness.
Right.
When you look at even like some of the generations, of course, talk about like Derrick Rose.
Yes.
We could talk about Kobe. We could talk about Andrew Bynum,
Mm-hmm.
Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah,
Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett,
Ray Allen, KG. I mean, even now, like with Steph and Clay.
Yep.
To a degree, Draymond. I just want Draymond to be a little more disciplined.
Thank you for saying that.
Giannis.
Oh my God, Giannis.
You have some inklings of that toughness from yesteryear coming into the NBA. It's just not a lot of it,
right?
And there's not a lot of incentive to it too, because again, let's talk about the fact that we just went through our inaugural year of having the in-season tournament featuring the NBA Cup. Where's the incentive to actually play like you mean it?
NBA Cup. Who the hell wants to play for that in December? Oh, we forgot a player that's playing old school right now, Nikola Jokic, who should have won the MVP last year. And JJ, I know you're going to yell at me for this, but Nikola Jokic was a better player than Joel Embiid. Go on.
Where there's no incentive to play tough because everyone gets a trophy now. Everyone gets some sort of award. I mean, we were just talking about earlier about how, what was it, 62 games?
65
games to be eligible for an award. What about wanting to play the full season?
Right.
What about training and honing your body to want to actually play the full season? Injuries happen. I get that.
Oh, yeah.
Illness happen. I get that.
Absolutely.
But I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about the individuals who will find any which reason. And the reason why I say Kyrie is because Kyrie is one of the very few players I've seen actually will find reasons to not go on the floor.
Play. Yep. To not play. You know what? I'm gonna piss off some modern NBA fans. Why am I gonna piss them off? Because I'm sick and tired of hearing bronzexuals, especially after what happened this past weekend, say that he's the greatest. I'll give you 5 of the greatest right here. Roll it. What? Did you see the serious look on their faces when they got introduced, folks?
Mhm.
Did you see them? Did you see their faces smile or dance or anything like that? They high-fived each other when they came out. All right. All right. You understand that?
I also want to throw a shout out to Mr. Ryan McCarthy when he says, "You know who never gets any love? Jason White Chocolate Williams."
Agreed.
I'll throw another one in there. Double D, Daryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder.
I'll throw one in myself. Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, Big Ben.
I'll throw that in there. I'll throw that in there. Wait a
Reggie
minute.
Miller.
Reggie Miller. Oh God.
Mr. Satellite.
My wife would kick my ass if I didn't mention Reggie Miller. My wife will whoop my ass.
I'll even throw in Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose. Yes. Yes.
Every day's in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the heart just isn't there. And because everyone's getting a participation trophy, there's no need to be anymore.
Right.
There's no need to be anymore. And I do think the advent of social media has probably caused a lot of this because everyone now has an opinion and now everyone's taking that opinion to heart.
And too damn seriously.
Yeah.
And too damn seriously. Way too y'all have taken this way to the Mookie Braylon, Derek Coleman, Chris Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I said it the way the old school NBA announcer Brendan Bernardino said it. Morris.
T-Mac, Vince Carter.
Yep. Steve Francis,
yes.
Steve Francis. How do you like them apples? Oh, by the way, the first player to ever win an NBA All-Star Game MVP in his hometown wasn't even an elected starter. He was a substitute for an injury. His name, Tom Chambers.
Tom Chambers again.
Take that, Rod West. Fool. That fish-eyed, idiotic fool.
We won't talk about them.
People don't want to admit greatness when they see it. All right?
My thing.
I'm sounding like a New Yorker because I'm full of coffee. Rasheed Wallace.
Rip Hamilton, actually.
Rip Hamilton, absolutely.
Another small guy who knew how to play amongst the giants.
Okay, since people want to say, you know who is the greatest, I offer 5 more who are much better than him. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet.
Get up!
1996 Pacific Division champions, your Seattle Supersonics. And tonight's starting lineup for your Supersonics. A 6'4" guard from Oregon State, number 20, Gary Payton. A 6'3" guard from Bradley University, number 33, Hersey Hawkins. 6'11" center from New Orleans, number 50, Urban Johnson. 6'10" forward from the University of Washington, number 11,
That's the guy for you.
And a 6'10" forward from Trinity Junior College, number 40, And the head coach of
coach for you, George Karl.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Kemp, Sean Kipp, Gary Payton, all of those guys. And I'll close out with this before we go to our final break. Listen, bronzesexuals, do your freaking research, will you please? Before you decide to come at me with a conversation. LeBron ain't the greatest, okay? Matter of fact, I'll look y'all in the eyes right now and say this. Top 50, my ass. How about top 500? Nope. Not even top 500.
Wow.
He's not worthy. He's done. He's ruined the game. He's ruined the league. And he hasn't improved his game in 21 years.
You say worthy? I think
James
you said worthy.
I said worthy. He ain't. Look, I had someone have the nerve, the unmitigated gall, to compare him to Big Game James. Shut up. Matter of fact, I'll say it this way, and people are going to hate me, and bronzesexuals especially are going to hate me for saying this, but after having a conversation with a bronzesexual, I say this, and I say it aloud, and I'm going to say it with all the love in my dark heart towards these bronzesexuals. LeBron James is the most mediocre player to come to the NBA in the last 30 years. Period. Now get out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronzesexual Confessions.
Thank you, Cole Johnson, for that fabulous intro and outro. And I leave with and I close with this before we go to our final break. And Victor, you know the sentence very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden, you a bitch. Back in a minute.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
VIKALAAH riding shotgun for the remainder of the show. He'll also ride shotgun tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, the big dog Shane Lake will join me on the program, and I decided to clear a full hour with him, just like I did with Victor, because we got a lot to catch up on and talk about. You a fan of the Boston Celtics? Well, it doesn't matter which team you choose to win your games. You can support them with Fanatics, the ultimate place for gear and apparel. Log on to snowmanmultimedia.com/fanatics and shop a wide selection of officially licensed merchandise from your favorite teams and players. Visit snowmanmultimedia.com/fanatics and gear up like a true fan with Fanatics. Officially licensed everything. Speaking of Fanatics, let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone. Big Dog Shane Lake said, hey, I'm a Boston fan. Come on now. Yeah, I know that. And I can't wait to have you on tomorrow. I really, really appreciate it. He says that's straight up hate with my conversation about Joel Embiid, and it's a very uncomfortable conversation that JJ and I had yesterday. I love you too, brother. I mean it. 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 Mark Jackson dancing and gyrating after getting a foul called him or making a key basket against Philadelphia in 1989. Dirk Nowitzki, that fadeaway, one-handed, one-legged shot. Can't do nothing against that. Can't do nothing against the skyhook or Michael's fadeaway either. 41 after the hour. One more piece of business, and we're going to have even more fun. Let's go to North Carolina. We are the only sports show in the world that will talk about number one Wake Forest baseball, about women's basketball, and all the other stuff that the main shows don't want to hit because they're too scared. This is the guy that points us out, and this is the guy that helps us. Let's go to North Carolina. Jay Spivey now joins us on the Invader Coffee guest line. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
All right.
Okay, where do we begin? I know where we begin. Caitlin Clark.
Who? Never heard of her before.
Let me explain that inside joke. There's a certain person that Jay and I both hate. I'm sorry, that's a strong word.
Oh no.
Yeah. I know. But I gotta set it up. Jay and I were texting back and forth when Caitlin Clark set the record, being the all-time NCAA scorer in any division, and we pointed out a few people in North Carolina that won't have the nuts to talk about her. And I said, we will. We talk women's basketball all the time here. So
well, I mean, honestly, I just truly don't get the hate that these people's. Now, I'm not even talking about just him. I have a real good friend who will not watch her at all and just blast her. And he said she's not even set any record. I was like, I don't even care about the records. Are irrelevant to me. Look what she's done for college basketball. Look what she's done for pop culture. Look what she's done for women's sports. Look what she's done for little girls, little boys. Who cares?
Yep, absolutely.
And to me, you know, we all love men's college basketball. I'm sure we'll all get down to it in a couple weeks when we get to the tournament. But to me, this season has been extremely boring. Caitlin Clark has made this a rather boring men's season into something fun because it's must-see TV. I have planned my entire schedule around watching her play.
Same.
I don't care what network it is.
I plan my entire schedule not only to watch her play, but to do alternative play-by-play for it, which is what I'm going to do for the Women's Big Ten tournament. For those who don't have access to BTN or to Peacock, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to broadcast it. So let me bring up a point that JJ and I talked about, and Jay, you and I talked about. Why won't the people who do alternative play-by-play, and I know you've seen a bunch of them on the internet, why won't they acknowledge that this is the future, and why won't they cover women's basketball? Talk to me.
Well, look, I mean, at least the last 2 years, I mean, I'm really going back to UConn. I mean, how popular they were, all those really good UConn teams.
Yep.
Them, you got South Carolina, we got LSU, we got I mean, team after team after team. We got Caitlin Clark now. I mean, I don't think Iowa's going to win a national championship. I don't think the surrounding parts around her are good enough to win. But,
right.
But still, I mean, I saw a story today where Iowa games have broken 6 different networks' TV ratings.
Yep.
6.
6 of them. Yep. 6 of them.
So why wouldn't you want to have them on? And you know it's killing ESPN that they can't show Big Ten games because of the new contract. So, but you know they're going to, as soon as the tournament starts, they're going to show every Iowa game by itself. You just watch.
On all the networks.
Every game because ESPN owns women's
and listen, the entire tournament, ESPN holds the exclusive rights to the women's national tournament. But it's going to kill them that they can't show the Big Ten tournament, as you said, Jay, because of the new contract. Watch this: Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, a couple of others. I can't remember the young lady from South Carolina, but South Carolina alone, they're going to show every single game on every single on the ESPN family of networks. And if they don't, they're going to miss out on a whole bunch of money.
Well, you know, normally what they do, especially the first weekend, they'll show all the games together.
Yes.
There's no way they're going to do that with Iowa.
No
way.
No, they're not.
They're not going to put 4 games on at the same time. There's no way.
Not a chance. Not a chance. And the crazy part about it is, Jay, they have the exclusive rights. And as you and I have talked about, Victor, you too, and many others, they're going to screw it up again.
Oh yeah,
they're going to screw it up.
They're going to overthink it. They're going to mess it up.
You know why? You know why they're going to screw it up? It's something I had to learn when I was building my network. Too many hands in the pie. Too many networks at once.
Well, that's what they did yesterday.
Oh my!
Just to be part of it, they had game day there yesterday. They couldn't show the game because it was on Fox.
Right.
But they were there for game day.
They were there for game day. Why don't ESPN get a piece of the pie when it comes to women's Big Ten basketball? I got to ask you that.
Well, they don't have the rights to it. It's done. It's on Fox, CBS, Peacock, NBC, and FS1 for the foreseeable future. And I mean, that Big Ten contract they just signed last. Well, I guess it was fall before last.
Right.
Is, I believe, the most lucrative contract in college sports history.
Yep.
And ESPN opted to go with the SEC rather than the Big Ten.
Oops. And that hurt them.
It's going to be all right with football, but it's going to kill them. It's going to kill them for now.
It's going to kill them with hoops.
I mean, and then the other thing is they can't show don't forget they can't show Big Ten football either.
Right. I mean, it's all about with CBS and with ESPN. It's all about the SEC, and the Big Ten's kind of left out in the cold with football.
And they can't. It's been for this for a while. They hadn't even show the Michigan-Ohio State game the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I believe is it Ohio State playing Texas this year?
I believe
or Michigan playing Texas this year. I forgot.
One of those two.
No, whenever it's at the Big Ten side, ESPN won't be able to show it.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. They will not. They will not. Jay Spivey joining us here on the program. We got a myriad of stuff that we're talking about, and let's pay some homage to, and I hate saying this because I loved watching him, the late Chris Mortensen.
Oh my goodness.
That hurt me because I remember when he came aboard ESPN in 1991, and he was every bit a professional, and from a distance, every bit as a friend to all of us.
Well, you know, as you all know, I'm a sports reporter, and I don't proclaim to be anywhere near to the level he is.
Right.
But he's got war after war after war after war. When he was with mostly with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, but he was with the National, which was the sports only section. Then his local paper in California.
Yeah.
But you know, I know he'd been sick, and frankly, because of all the chemo he had and everything else, he looked just so much older than he really was. but he kept working through it, and you can't help but praise the guy for doing that. But it killed me yesterday. I mean, no pun intended, yesterday to see that he died because of how much he meant to so many people. And I beg you, I'm not the biggest Adam Schefter fan, other than I know he works his tail off. If you get a chance, just pay attention to the obituary he had on Sports Center last night that he did for him. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It really is well done. And Adam Schefter put a lot of effort into it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to touch on something.
One other thing is, like I said, he's a sports star, and in many ways he's a trailblazer because so many sports reporters now are on the TV side, lending their expertise to whatever sport they cover.
Yeah.
And because of the downfall of print journalism, unfortunately, which has killed me as well.
Mm-hmm.
And back then in the early 90s, nobody even thought about having a journalist on TV.
No. No one wanted to think about it.
In many ways, I mean, he was pre-Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser on PTI because, I mean, there's no need to underestimate what they've done for sports journalism and TV in general as well.
Right.
I mean, PTI has changed TV.
Mm-hmm. It has. And the advent of the internet has changed television as well, because now you got a whole bunch of people that, and I want to hit this with you, Jay, because we talked about it, and Victor, you and I talked about it. You got a whole bunch of people right now with the advent of YouTube and the advent of social media, and Victor said it earlier, that can put their opinions out there and not give a damn about any backlash. Okay.
Per example was and this is a little bit off topic, but I remember Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe were having a conversation about this when Ice Cube was having conversations with the Trump administration about how to help advance Black people.
Yep.
And people were like calling him a sellout and everything. And Busta Rhymes said, it's different from how it was back in the day, because when you said something out of pocket, you had to back it up once you stepped outside.
Absolutely.
Or you had to see that person and you had to either back it up or apologize. Now with the advent of social media, it's not like that. You can say all the foul, horrific things to anybody you want. And because you're under anonymity, nothing happens. You gain there's no repercussions for what you do.
Man, here's one thing I really want to touch, and Jay, you keep bringing it to my attention. I know the radio voice of Wake Forest baseball, very dear friend of mine, Ty Collins. Why won't the big networks and even locally cover them? They're the number one baseball team in the country right now. They were preseason number one. They're number one right now. They had a clash with UNCG, and UNCG beat them, and yet Wake Forest is still sitting at the top of the rankings. And besides us, no one else will talk about it. Why?
Well, I'm a Wake fan, and I try to keep that out of my most people know I root for Wake, but I try to keep that out of public knowledge.
Right.
But my dad, who got me to be a Wake fan since the time I can remember, probably 2 years old or even younger than that. And my dad had a saying, about Wake. Back then it was a small school, and a really small school. It's still a small school. It's like, not even 4,000 students. And my dad had this saying, little old Wake Forest. And he would call them Loaf. LOFA. LOWF. Little old Wake Forest. And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, you look, Wake's never on TV and anything. I mean, they are, but on smaller networks.
Yep.
They are, and they got to be good in football for a while, and got to be on some major networks. But for the most part, they're never on.
Right.
Because they have no alumni base around this area.
Yeah, I've only seen maybe one or two Wake Forest games, and that was on Hulu when they would do a lot of college baseball games on Hulu. But that was about it.
I mean, you can watch them; they're on ESPN Plus every game, but they're never on real big TV.
Right. I mean, they don't have the maximum amount of eyes.
I mean, assuming it doesn't rain tomorrow afternoon, they're supposed to play Georgetown tomorrow, which will be on ESPN Plus. But that's not exactly the biggest platform in the world.
Right.
No, and they don't work to grow that part of it. I mean, for God's sake, they put it behind a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
They put ESPN Plus behind a paywall, and some of the best games in baseball they put behind that paywall. Right. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. Their main network, which is part of cable, which you got to pay for, and then ESPN Plus, which I subscribed to after I cut the cord last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I cut the cord.
If you want, you go. If you really want, you watch college baseball. You watch hundreds of games a week.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of games a week.
Easy. And I listen.
Most Division I teams are playing about 60 regular season games, roughly.
Right.
So I mean, we're not quite a month into the season yet, and the way the ACC is, the conference play actually starts this weekend. Wake's playing Duke here in Winston-Salem. I mean, conference play already starts this weekend, so it's already here.
Yep. Speaking of the ACC, why? I know we talked about this already, but I got to have another clear understanding because a whole lot's happened in my life since then. Why did they move the ACC tournament?
Or you talking from Sunday to Saturday?
Yep. I'm talking about location. I'm talking about the location.
Listen, I've been to 4 different sites for the ACC tournament. I've been to Greensboro, I've been to Charlotte, I've been to Atlanta, and I've been to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'll fully admit I live about 25 minutes from Greensboro.
Right.
So it's an easy drive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's far and away the best in Greensboro. It's not even close.
It's not.
But when Jim Phillips was hired as the new commissioner of the conference, when he came down from Northwestern, he immediately moved the ACC headquarters to Charlotte, which was stupid.
Very
stupid. He immediately said we were going to have almost everything played in Charlotte, come hell or high water. And you look, it's only going to be in Greensboro like twice in the next 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's going to be in Washington this year. The conference already sucks enough this year. I don't care what people say. The conference sucks this year.
It does. It
sucks.
Say it
now,
again.
Who's going to go see these teams playing Washington, D.C.?
It's trash.
Okay, who's going to want to? I think I want to say 1 year it was in Brooklyn. Am I wrong?
It's been in Brooklyn several years.
Thank you. I thought. I thought
it's been there like 3 or 4 years.
I thought my mind was playing.
No, you're not. That's not good. No.
I think the year that I had my cancer surgery, 22, it was in Brooklyn.
I believe that's right.
I believe 2 years ago it was in Brooklyn. What the hell is wrong with that picture? Who's going to want to travel? Who in ACC?
This came about because people like Jim Boeheim whined that it was in Greensboro every year. Well, guess what? There are 4 teams in the ACC from one state. What do you think is going to happen?
Right.
And I've been to 2 ACC tournaments myself, 1994 and 1995. 1995 was the best one for me.
Oh, well, that was my favorite too. I was
1995, and I had a chance. Randolph Childress, Tim Duncan, Dean. I think Dean Smith was still coaching at the time.
He was
Dean
there.
Smith.
He was there.
Dave Odom, Joe Smith from Maryland. Man,
I remember this vividly.
Yep.
The semifinals that year had 4 of the top 10 teams in the country playing that year.
Yep.
4.
You
would never see that now the way this conference is.
North Carolina, I want to say 3 of them were North Carolina, Maryland, and Wake Forest.
And Clemson was the other one, I believe.
I think it was Clemson. Man,
I take that back. Virginia was one.
Virginia. There you go. Virginia. Junior Burroughs. Junior Burroughs was on that team. Man.
And Wake was the number 1 seed that year.
Wake was the number 1 seed. Man, when I saw the pairings, I was actually working for the Coliseum that year, 1995. I saw the pairings, and I told my boss, look, you're going to have to fire me after this tournament. She laughs and says, why? I said, because I'm going against company rules, and I'm going to find every way possible to watch this tournament. You know what she did? She set it up where I could. and still have a chance to work the Coliseum. I met some of the crew from ESPN that year, and 23. I mean, even for the 8-9 matchup, for the 8-9 matchup that year, Cherokee Parks and Duke, I believe, were the 8th seed that year. We're talking about 1995.
Duke was horrible that year. Horrible. That was the year Krzyzewski left early that year.
Yep. Anybody remember the classic from February 2nd of 95 at Cameron Indoor Stadium?
That's correct.
She set up a room where when we have a break, we can go up and watch the tournament. I'm like, sweet. And let me be real. I'm a sports junkie. I snuck up there every chance I got to watch the tournament. I snuck up there every chance I got to watch the tournament.
I don't know how. That was the first ACC tournament I had ever been to. I don't know how the heck I got tickets for it, but I did. I did, and I will never forget it. And of course, I was lucky enough to see my team win the championship, and I still don't believe it happened, but it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't usually get emotional, but I got very emotional that day. I mean, I sitting up there watching. I was like, I cannot believe Wake Forest just won the ACC championship.
I damn near was on press row that Sunday. I damn near was on.
And if you remember correctly, that the championship game was phenomenal.
Oh my God, was it ever? The championship game, for me, blew away the NCAA tournament. The only game in the NCAA tournament that I can compare to the ACC championship was the national championship in Seattle.
And now you'll never get that because neither the NBA nor the NCAA will make any rules about one and dones and all the other rules that are going around college basketball. They will not take a stand.
They will not.
And that's why women's basketball is more exciting than men's basketball right now.
And it needs to stay, and the excitement level needs to grow for women's basketball. The new one, Juju Watkins from USC.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Juju Watkins from USC will step into the shoes of Caitlin Clark. Go ahead, Victor.
I wanted to ask this question because we were talking about the toughness, the lack of toughness in like the NBA. Is this just an NBA thing, or does this trickle down to the college ranks?
This goes all the way down to the youth level of basketball in America.
Okay.
Snowman, you'll back me up on this. How many times have I mentioned how much better European basketball is than American basketball right now? At least in terms of fundamentals.
Man, you said it on my show when we first
Look,
got
together. Most of the best players in the NBA right now are European.
Absolutely. You've said that on my show since we first got together. When I used to do my show from Durham, North Carolina, at the Starbucks in Durham, and I would have you with me, and I have a crowd around me, and you said the best players in the NBA right now are European. Do you know how many people bristled at me for that statement?
I mean, we probably still have the best athletes on a basketball court, but that's far cry from a basketball player.
Dear God, yes. One more thing before we get out of here. We got a couple minutes left. And I am going to lob this up there for Jay. And I know he's going to hit this knuckleball out of the park. Why don't people that you and I both know, and Victor, you're in this as well, want us to talk about baseball on the air? Why?
I thought you were going to talk about the Cam Newton brawl last week.
Oh my God! I was wondering if someone's going to bring that up.
I digress.
It's Cam Newton. Who cares?
Well, here's the thing. At least that man showed he's strong. At least he can back behind stuff because, like, the fact that he took on, what was it, 4 or 5 people?
Seven
people. I'm like,
but he had that hat on. That was all important.
Yeah.
I have a simple sentence about that. You know why I didn't cover it? It's Cam Newton. Who cares?
Exactly. Scam Newton, as I call it.
It's Cam Newton, who's already pissed me off with some of his statements.
Cam Newton has it on gravitation.
And you already know. Look, it's Scam Newton, who's already pissed me off with some of his statements, and y'all know the statements I'm talking about.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Why don't big time shows, and I use air quotes for big time shows, talk about baseball?
It defies logic to me. A network that even covers baseball like ESPN never talks about it on their talk shows. Never.
You don't even see baseball tonight anymore unless it's late at night.
Never.
Because to most people, they view baseball as like the boring sport.
Mm-hmm.
They look at every other sport as like an exciting sport, but they look at baseball as the boring sport.
I love baseball. And the rule changes they made last year made the game so much faster.
And so much more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And made a lot of strategy sessions.
Definitely.
They made a lot of strategy
sessions.
They
bring back the stolen base finally. And
Thank
I
God.
hope we can get to the point where we see some more bunts like we used to. But
I mean, I want to see more fundamental baseball. Damn it!
I want to see, and I want to see analytics taken out of it on the field and out of the booth.
God, please,
Can we have that?
Can we have that,
Sunday night
please?
game on ESPN and all they talk about is analytics? I don't care. I want to know
no
what's
one
going
cares.
on the field.
I never gave two you-know-whats about analytics, and I never will. I never will. All right?
Analytics
has
ridiculous.
ruined. I'm going to say a sentence to help us close out. Analytics has ruined sports.
It really has.
Look at the NFL.
Every single well.
Oh, God.
It's poisoned every single
fourth
well.
and 4, we're going to go for on our own 20-yard line because analytics says to.
Yeah.
No, you punt the ball.
Take a listen to this. Do y'all know that on Monday Night Football they have a graphic now?
Oh, God.
Where on fourth down, you know where I'm going.
Yep, I've seen it.
That shows the percentage of going forward versus punting.
Yep. Who cares? Who cares? That's not gonna be for everybody.
Exactly.
That's not gonna be for everybody. Every team is different. Some teams will go for it more often than they'll punt.
Why would you? I saw people go for it on their own 20 or 30-yard line. What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
That's common sense. That's not analytics. That's common sense.
And it's not like a yard. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 yards here. They're going
right.
And they're doing it early in the first quarter.
Dan Campbell, hello.
Oh, God.
Early in the first quarter, they're going for it on 4th and 20. Make that make sense.
Dan Campbell, hello.
Staley. Thankfully, he got fired.
Yep.
Staley.
And Ryan McCarthy asked me about my thoughts about Brandon Staley. And my thought is simple. He's under Kyle Shanahan now. And if he tries anything to ruin what they're building, Kyle Shanahan will put a foot in his ass and kick him out.
I don't know why I hired him to begin with.
I don't either. I was going to say, why? Why is he there?
Well, it just seems... It just seemed to happen. I hope he keeps his mouth shut. That's all.
He doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut.
I was going to say that too.
The press would press him in press conference, and he'd be like, "Well, I know my team better than anybody, and I'm going to keep doing things the way I want to do it." Well, how'd that work out? You got fired, dude.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You took an extremely talented team and put them in the crapper because you claim to know better than anybody else.
Oh, yeah. Dear me. Jay Spivey joining us here on the program as he does every single Monday. Man, I love you. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us every Monday and being a part of the best sports show in the world. Thank you, partner. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
One more trip through the Fanatic feedback zone where JJ says we're talking about sports shows. Our attention spans have changed, and it's so sad. Yes, it is, but it still takes time and still takes guts to have a show. I'll say it again. I was going to cancel this morning because I was so exhausted when I got started. When I sat in this chair, of course, I'm in a wheelchair right now temporarily, and I said, you know what? The hell with it. I'll start at 9 o'clock, and I think we're going to stay with 9 o'clock. I'm going to 9 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Central time, and welcome to WEIS in Chicago for housing this program And thank you so very much to everyone that houses this program. And I got a big announcement coming after the draft. All right. I'll have another bronze sexual confession tomorrow. Also, 40,000 don't equal 4,000.
When is the draft?
April.
We're doing a watch party.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to complete the look, I'm probably going to be caffeinated that night, but we're doing the entire first round. Hell, we may do the entire damn draft.
I'm down for it.
We just may do the entire damn draft. All right. We just may do the entire damn draft, and I'm going to love every single minute of it. I can't wait. We got to get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move, and always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
they're simply not big enough.
Stay hungry, stay humble. Listen, stay humble, be hungry, and always hustle. I love you guys. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. Tom Chambers versus LeBron James tomorrow in hour 3. See you then.